First off, that the Steelers came out with everything you kind of talked about. I mean, game.
Rodney said there was more energy last night than 2 weeks before.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right. That was our first warning. And early on, the Jets, like we talked about, kind of controlled the game. But the Steelers were ready to dig in and go, so what? It's a 4-quarter fight. We don't care that you won the first quarter and a half. We know there's a lot of football here to get going. And they just physically started to wear down the New York Jets. And then I think we got to give Russell Wilson, and, even though his pregame awkward interview is the weirdest ever, and I don't know, he is hilarious.
Is it different?
No.
I mean,
no.
That's how he's always been.
It is, exactly.
But when you
right.
go out and throw like that during the game, and it gets completed somehow, that's when you believe. And, let's just come to the realization at some point that Mike Tomlin knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He proved us all wrong.
He went Lone Ranger. He went against the organization. When you say I went Lone Ranger, he told Jay Glazer that means nobody else wanted to do this.
No.
Art Rooney didn't want to do it. Omar Khan didn't want to do it. Arthur Smith didn't want to do it. And he did it. And, yeah, I'll take Mike Tomlin's instincts over Woody Johnson's any day of the week, any hour of the day.
Well,
I'm
not going to disagree with you there. I mean, Mike Tomlin's got some of the best instincts in the NFL for sure. And, yeah, he proved it again last night by pulling the trigger there to make Russell Wilson the starter. I think what you saw with Russell Wilson is just got a little bit more of a natural feel to play the quarterback position as compared to Justin Fields. Just a little movement in the pocket or throwing touch passes up in the air and putting them in the right spot. All of that looked better last night. He's a better thrower of the football than Justin Fields. There's no doubt about that as well. I think there's two things that I really looked at. One, he just matchups. He looked at matchups and went, I think my guy's better than his guy. I'm going to throw it. And then I think there was a number of times where he was better than Fields to go, wait, nothing's really open, but there's Pickens. And I know him one-on-one with anybody. Let me just put a ball up in his area code, and he'll come down with it. It was as simple as that. And then they started to run the ball and control the line of scrimmage and do all of that as well. But I think a little bit of that was, wait, Russell's kind of hitting some passes down the field. Even though they might not have been the most amazing thing there was, at least there was a threat of the downfield run. And that opened up the run game, and they certainly seemed like a little bit more of a confident offense as the game went on and continued.
Yeah, and it's well documented.
Yeah.
I have been a believer that George Pickens has the talent and the potential to be one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Right.
And one of the reasons is, even when he's covered, he's open.
Yeah, that's right.
You can throw it to him and he'll catch him. But how long have we been waiting for a Steelers quarterback who is willing to go all in with that and trust that?
Yeah.
And in the moment, see that and say, I'll put the ball out there, and 14 will get it.
Yeah.
They finally have someone who will do it.
They do. And that is Russell Wilson. If there was a gift that he had in Seattle in those days, is he knew how to play matchups or look for his guy and go, wait, I can throw it up to Doug Baldwin here. I know I can trust him. He'll go up and get it in this moment. That was encouraging for the Steelers and how that looked. If they can get a semblance of the running pass game, their run game's not great, but it's solid. I think it's a little bit better than it has looked. And if they could just get a little pass game for defenses to worry about that, I think the run game will look closer to what we saw last night. We'll see. But, yeah, Pickens, we know, is the number one weapon. And that goes back into, like, WTF Jets. What the... I mean, I want to swear so bad. The only thing that can really beat you on the Steelers' offense last night in a game like last night and then get them going is George Pickens. And then they're going to single cover him the whole night. And this is the other thing that bothers me. Single cover him with...
Well, because if you're never going to throw it to him, why not single cover him? That's the thing.
Well, yeah, but then if
now
you're
it might
single
change.
Cover him, put him on put Sauce Gardner. That's the other thing, too. I'm sick of Jet fans and everybody telling me Sauce Gardner is the best corner in football and blah, blah, blah. No, he's not. He plays zone. He never matches up. He's not as good as the other corners in football. No, and that's also stupid by the Jets that they don't match him up against a guy that he perfectly matches up against, and George Pickens. I mean, Sauce is the tall. Well, you're not going to catch 50-50 balls on me. I'm big and long and rangy, right? Another idiot move by the Jets. I don't understand. But either way, really awesome for the Steelers to get that going. Steelers get a little offense and can get some lead in some games. We know with that pass rush and that defense, they can create problems, and that's the formula, and that's how they want to play when it's Steeler football.
I made a grievous error last Monday when we were in here.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I thought the Steelers play at the Giants next Monday night.
I know, it's at home.
They play in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I might might have to go.
It's unbelievable.
I might have to go.
Go.
I'll be there. I fly in there.
Well, I mean, what is that? 3 out of 4 weeks they're going to be national TV,
Yes.
right? That's incredible.
Yeah.
It really is. They're 5-2. I don't know what to say. It's one of the uglier 5-2 teams in football, but they find ways
But
to
it's
get it
still
done.
5-2.
It is, and it's impressive.
Do you
Mike Tomlin.
do you think that the team you saw last night, because your big criticism of the Steelers is they finish well enough to get into the postseason,
Yes.
but they're not capable of winning in
Right.
the postseason. Do
Right.
you think this is a team that can win in the postseason?
I would like to see a little bit more with Russell Wilson, but I did say on my podcast last night, I was like, it's rounding into the time of the year where I'm going to start rooting against the Steelers because I don't want to see them getting some boring wild card game. But maybe Russell Wilson changes that. Maybe he can get to a point where we go, hey, all right, this team they're playing in the playoffs is a little better than them, but Russell and the offense, they can make some plays. So this is not like a definite that they're going to lose some ugly wild card game. I'm hoping he can change that dynamic of how they look on that side of the ball.
And change. We talked earlier about how you make a game that is not going your way go your way.
Yeah.
It's 15-6, and I'll be candid. I'm thinking, uh-oh.
Yeah, you
Tomlin might have
heard
gotten this wrong.
right. You heard me saying this is over here if they go down and score.
Russ might be washed.
Right.
Like, he can't run like he used to. We got spoiled by seeing Justin Fields' explosion. We didn't see that from Russ. He's not running away from pressure. You know, could they go with Fields in the second half? And NFL media reported that Fields was going to play. Fields didn't play. They had that short yardage, goal line, put Fields in and let him score. Nope. Russ stayed out there even though he initially hurt the calf pushing a sled. He basically pushed a sled into the end zone. So Mike Tomlin knows what he's doing. And Chris Collinsworth made reference to this last night. There's that cluster of Steelers fans that want to run him out the door. It's amazing to me. Anytime they hit any degree of adversity, you got to fire Mike Tomlin. One of my friends is like that. And it's like, as Collinsworth said, teams would line up to hire Mike Tomlin if Mike Tomlin was available.
100%. Nobody in football is going, oh, my gosh, the Steelers are so talented. Mike Tomlin, he's just underperforming, and the Steelers should be winning the Super Bowl. Not that good. There's nobody in football that's going that way. Everybody looks at the Steelers and goes, hey, they're solid. They're good. But there's not like a roster here where like coaches around the league are going, oh, gosh, it's the Steelers. They're going to dominate us in every way tonight.
I'm telling you, Mike Tomlin is not going to be fully appreciated until he's gone. I mean, retired or not with the Steelers anymore.
I got you.
And that's when, at some point, the stories will trickle out about just how nuts some of the guys were that he got under control and spoke to their better angels. I'm not going to name names. Do I need to? but a couple of them prominent for different reasons nowadays. But yeah, he held it together and he got the most out of those guys. And he does it again. He gets the most out of Russ. Let's hear from both Mike Tomlin and Russell Wilson on the debut in Pittsburgh by new Steelers quarterback Russell Wilson.
I thought he was excellent. I thought he got better as the game went on, man. But I'm not surprised by that, man. It's been a while since he's played some ball, but I thought he settled in, knocked the rust off, man, and distributed the ball around and played well.
Kept telling Coach, hey, I'm going to get hot here. And sure enough, we did. We did a great job. The guys did a tremendous job up front, giving me enough time to make throws. Guys made plays down the field and everything else. And I think it's just the love of the game, I played so many games, and you know that every game's different. Every game has its own story, and every game has different moments in it. And you catch the wave, and once you find it, you don't let go. And I think the biggest thing is just knowing, who you are, knowing that the belief you have in yourself, and knowing that also too is my first time back, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel it again. Here we go. It's been a while. It's just been 6 weeks from really playing.
Yeah. He hadn't played at all this season.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons I didn't feel good about him. You're going to be rusty, right? And he didn't show a lot of rust. He really didn't. He hit the ground running.
They had that Monday night game, and then they're off week 9.
Yeah.
The trade deadline is the Tuesday after week 9. I think they're going to try to get a receiver. Now, they're not going to mortgage the future.
Right.
They're going to wait for the best option. DeAndre Hopkins was held out yesterday, second half healthy with the Titans.
Right.
I think he could be available.
Sure.
Mike Williams is available. I don't know that Woody Johnson is going to want to hand Mike Williams to the Steelers after what happened last night, but but I feel like they need that. They need to address that. And ideally, they get a guy in there right after next Monday night's game, so they have 2 weeks to get him ready. Because out of the bye, they got the Commanders. They play every team in the division twice.
Yep.
They've got the Chiefs and the Eagles. That's 9 challenging games. Now, the Browns, who knows at this point? The Bengals, who knows how good they are? But division rivals always give you a little something more than what they otherwise would. So they've got a tough 9 games after the bye. I think they need to find somebody to be the once defenses realize he's going to throw it to Pickens, we better reallocate our resources.
Right.
You better have somebody else who can take advantage of that.
They need someone. I mean, you ask most people, like, and you go down, I go to my son's practice and just ask, Johnny the dad, who's the other receiver on the Steelers? It'd be, nobody can name it right now. They have no household name that anybody thinks of other than maybe George Pickens. He's not even there yet because they can't get him the ball, but maybe he can become that. But they do need something else. Agreed. If they want to get where they want to get to with some of these elite teams in the AFC and beat the Ravens and try to go to the Super Bowl, they certainly can't do it the way they've been doing it. They need to be able to depend on the offense a little bit more. Can't always be, can TJ Watt strip a ball, and can we score a touchdown on defense, and can we block a punt to win a football game and do all of that? The offense has got to be able to carry the team from time to time. Last night was one of the first times all year we kind of went, hey, look at this. The offenses, they controlled the second half of the football game.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.